Hey everyone. So you sent us this really timely piece from The Verge, um, all about that big Zoom outage yesterday. Caused quite a few headaches, it seems.
It really did. Yeah, the article is titled, Zoom is back following a major outage. And it wasn't just a small flicker.
No, definitely not a minor blip.
Exactly. The platform, even their website, basically went dark for close to 2 hours, actually.
Wow.
So what we want to do in this deep dive is really try to unpack what happened, what might have caused it, and importantly, what this means for, well, pretty much everyone who relies on Zoom these days.
Which is a lot of people, let's face it. And the article's headline is stark, but that subheadline immediately points fingers, doesn't it? The nearly 2-hour-long outage may have been caused by domain registry issues.
Right. That's the key phrase.
Nearly 2 hours. I mean, that's significant if you've got back-to-back meetings or you're trying to run a webinar or something.
Absolutely. And the timeline laid out in the Verge piece is quite interesting. They mention Cisco's Thousand Eyes platform. Apparently, it detected a really sharp drop in connectivity. That was around, 2.4 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay, so mid-afternoon for the East Coast.
Yeah. And then, the reports just started flooding in, users hitting all sorts of problems.
Right. The article paints a picture of, well, kind of widespread chaos, didn't it? People trying to join calls, getting that really frustrating, unable to connect message.
Or just not being able to log in at all.
And it wasn't just the app itself, right? The main Zoom website, zoom.us, was apparently throwing up a 502 bad gateway error.
Yeah, and anyone who's, spent any time dealing with websites knows that 502 usually screams server trouble somewhere.
Definitely. It even mentions their press email was down. That sort of underscores how widespread it was internally, too, perhaps.
It really does. Now, what's fascinating, and where the article digs in a bit, is that potential root cause. There was a Reddit user.
Ah, the internet detectives.
Exactly. This user suggested the zoom.us domain might have been put in what's called a server hold.
Okay, server hold. What does that actually mean in, plain English?
Well, The Verge quotes ICANN, the sort of governing body for domain names.
Right.
And ICANN says a server hold means the domain is basically not activated in the DNS.
Not activated. So it's like, if I'm picturing this, the internet's map, the GPS, suddenly couldn't find Zoom's address anymore. Is that a fair way to think about it?
That's actually a really good analogy.
Yeah.
The domain name system, DNS, that's the fundamental thing that translates the website names we type, like zoom.us, into the actual numerical IP addresses computers use to connect.
Okay.
So if a domain is on server hold, not active in DNS, it's like having an unlisted phone number. No one can find you or call you.
And why would that happen? The article mentions things like administrative reasons. Verification issues, maybe?
It could be various things, yeah. Sometimes it's payment issues, sometimes verification failures, sometimes technical glitches at the registrar level. The article doesn't specify the exact reason why it might have been on hold, just that it was a possibility raised.
Gotcha. And this is where it gets really interesting, timelines-wise. That Reddit user apparently pointed out the registry issue seemed to be resolved around 4:12 p.m. Eastern.
Right. But, and this is key, the article correctly notes that fixing the registry problem doesn't mean instant recovery for everyone.
Ah, right, the propagation delay.
Exactly. It takes time for that fix, that updated information, to spread across all the different DNS servers around the world. The internet isn't just one big computer, it's this huge distributed network.
So even after the lock was supposedly taken off the door at 4:1 p.m.,
it still took a while for everyone's map to get updated, essentially. Zoom themselves finally posted on X, confirming service was restored around 5:000 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, so let's recap that timeline. Drop detected around 2:40 p.m. ET. Potential fix around 4:12 p.m. ET. Zoom confirms restoration around 5:000 p.m. ET. That's a solid chunk of downtime.
It really is. Significant disruption.
So what does this all mean for, our listeners? Obviously, if you were trying to use Zoom yesterday afternoon, you felt this directly. Frustrating, I bet. But even if you weren't directly hit, it really does highlight how much we depend on these platforms, doesn't it? For work, for school, for personal calls.
Absolutely. And it also kind of shines a light on this often invisible infrastructure like DNS that just makes the whole internet work. We take it for granted until it breaks.
Yeah, when something hiccups at that really fundamental level, the ripple effect is huge.
And, it does raise that bigger question about our reliance on these big cloud-based services. They offer amazing convenience, scalability, all that. But an event like this is a stark reminder, isn't it? That if a core piece, something seemingly simple like domain registration, has a problem,
Mm-hmm.
the impact can be massive and widespread.
It makes you think about I guess, the potential vulnerabilities in having so much rely on these centralized or semi-centralized systems.
It does. Though on the flip side, it's also kind of interesting how quickly the information about the potential cause surfaced.
Yeah, that Reddit post and The Verge reporting on it.
And the fact that the service was restored within, a couple of hours overall, from the first signs of trouble to Zoom's confirmation, it suggests that while things break,
There are processes to fix them, hopefully efficiently.
right, processes to identify and resolve these issues. The Verge did mention they reached out to Zoom and GoDaddy, who is apparently Zoom's registrar, for comment on the specific cause.
But no official word in the article on the exact reason for the server hold, if that's indeed what it was.
Not in this specific piece, no. But given the symptoms, the inability to connect, the website errors that domain registry DNS issue certainly seems like the most plausible explanation based on the available information.
Okay, so let's just bring it all together then. Yesterday afternoon, major Zoom outage, lasted nearly 2 hours.
Check.
The most likely culprit, based on reports and the symptoms, appears to be some kind of issue with their domain registration, maybe a server hold.
Which basically stopped the DNS, the Internet's address book, from finding Zoom's servers.
Leading to those unable to connect messages for users, 502 errors on the website, just blockage.
Right. The registry issue was reportedly fixed around 4:12 p.m. Eastern.
But it took a bit longer for the fix to spread everywhere, for the DNS to update. So Zoom officially confirmed things were back to normal around 5:00 p.m. Eastern.
Exactly. And connecting this back, to the listener's world, it's just a powerful reminder of these complex, often hidden systems we rely on every single minute online.
Yeah, we just assume we can click a link and connect instantly. This shows the potential fragility, I suppose.
The vulnerabilities within that incredibly complex web of infrastructure that makes it all possible.
It really does make you pause and think, doesn't it? With so much of our work, our social lives, everything happening through these digital platforms, what other sort of foundational bits of technology are we just completely reliant on? And what happens when those systems have a wobble, even for just a couple of hours? It's definitely something worth considering as we become even more digitally interconnected.
A crucial thought, for sure.